Hey up everybody, Magpie Gaming here, and in this video I'm going to give you my early impressions of the 0.9 patch for Escape from Tarkov. Now this patch landed a couple of days ago, and it's fair to say that every time they do a large patch like this, in fact it's fair to say when they do a small patch, we sometimes get issues with the game. If you're a regular with Escape from Tarkov, you know what I'm talking about, and these are regular things that happen. You'll have little bugs, little things, little kinks that need ironing out after the patch. Sometimes these are major things where the game becomes completely unplayable, sometimes the little things that are just niggly, and to Battlestate Games' credit, they do have these ironed out fairly quickly. There's always issues when the patch comes along. Usually an hour or so later you'll get a tweet from them saying we're aware of this issue, we're aware of that issue. Hot fixes will be fired out left, right and centre, and we get a lot of things fixed. It wasn't too bad for this patch, I don't think. There is a thread on the official Escape from Tarkov Reddit which lists some of the things that are wrong with the game. I've got to say that I've only experienced one of them and not many of them. So the one for me was with the Nvidia Overlay. Sometimes when this is activated, it can leave your mouse cursor from the desktop in the centre of your screen, which is mildly annoying but can also be quite useful because then you know where to hip fire because it's showing you the centre of your screen. So it's a little bit of a maybe a little bit of an exploit, but it happened to me in one round. I disabled the overlay, turned it back on, and everything was fine again. So just one of those little annoying bugs that it produced after the update. One of the more major ones is that for some reason yesterday on the 24th of July people started to report random crashes within the game. These were at any point within the game. You could be starting a raid, in the middle of a raid, ending it, and it would crash back to desktop, usually without an error. It just cleared straight back to desktop, and this has become more prevalent over the last 24 hours, I believe. Now, Battlestate Games put a tweet out to say that they recognised this, they understood people were having issues and they were going to look into it. Now, for me and the squad that I play with, one of us is suffering really bad with this. Every time he entered a raid, he would be instantly booted back to desktop. He was able to log back in and reconnect most of the time, but sometimes his character kind of bugged out on the screen. Now, you've seen it's where you do get disconnected and kicked out of a game and your character will just stop and your character's unkillable until you actually log back in and take control of your character again. Your character can't be killed, but now and again when this happens he was able to be killed. So it's not great. He was unable to get back into the raid, he logged back into his game and he was dead. So he's lost all of his gear, which is again isn't a good thing. And this is just happening, as I say, when he enters a raid. It can happen midway through a raid, it happens at the end of every raid when he's logged out of the raid. So yeah, we're waiting to see what's going to be done about that one. Not only him suffering with it, it's only him in our squad that is suffering with it, but there are a lot of other people out there that are having this. Hopefully that gets hot fixed out very, very soon. But overall, I think this patch has been a good one. It's launched, like I say, with minimal problems compared to other patches, and it's brought with it a lot of changes to the game. One of the main ones was that your trader rep didn't change. So, and this confused me a little bit to begin with, I've got to be honest. I'm like, well, why wouldn't you put it back to 0? What's the point? You've still got to level up to gain access to all that gear. But what it means is that all of the tasks that you completed previously to the wipe kind of are still completed. You still need to go through the task list to unlock specific items, which is true. Certain items that are locked to tasks, you will still need to grind through the tasks to get those certain items. But the vast majority of things that you unlocked are still there. All you need to do is level up your character. So you can quite easily go into the game and just play the game, not bother with the tasks, and eventually you will have access again to quite a lot of the things that you had access to before. So I think that's quite a good move. Like I said, I didn't understand it at first. I thought, well, you've still got to level up and blah blah blah, but you don't specifically need to do all of the tasks to get some of the items that you had before. So I think that's a good move, and like I've said in my previous video, I think they're sort of working towards the point where they don't need to wipe a lot of things at all. So, and I hope that eventually the day will come where we can have major updates and we don't have to have a wipe. Everybody wishes that though, I think. Other things that have changed in the game, the original tasks, a lot of them haven't changed, although a few have had some tweaks and changes made to them. Not sure specifically on those. I think quite a lot of the therapist ones have changed. It's just little things that have changed. Maybe the amounts of things that you have to collect and stuff like that. There are 14 new tasks in the game. The mechanic has 5 new tasks, Ragman has 4, and Skier has 5. So there are new tasks there to do once you've worked your way through the original ones. The Scaf Boss. Now, I was privileged enough to come across the Scaf Boss yesterday, and I've got to say that I really enjoyed taking on this guy. Me and a friend of mine went in, we saw him, and he was flanked by about 5 other scavs, I believe. It was either 4 or 5 scavs. Those was pretty easy to take out, but we did recognise that they actually work together. I think there's new AI on these guys, and they were working together. So they were flanking in formation, they were shouting out commands to each other, and it was almost as if you was taking on other players. It was quite organised, you know, not to the point where you did believe it was other players, you did know that it was still scavs, but it was good to see. It was an engagement that you enjoyed to have. You know, sometimes scavs are just stood still and you can one-tap them in the head. Sometimes they laser beam you with a shotty. You know, you kind of know what you're going to get with the vast majority of scavs in the game, but with these ones you don't. They're unpredictable, they're working together, they throw grenades in unison, you know, and as it says in the patch notes, the Scaf Boss does run off into the gas station, because it was at gas station on customs where we found him, and he buggers off inside. The other guys stay outside, they try to flank you, take you on. We managed to take all of those out, and then when we went inside, this guy's got a lot of armour on. He took quite a few, it was a hail of bullets to take him down. Now, unfortunately, the amount of noise that we made attracted other players, so we were unable to see what kind of loot was on these guys, but they all looked pretty tooled up. You know, if you can get hold of the Scaf Boss and get some loot off him, you're going to get some decent weaponry and items out of him. You know, whether you want to keep it or sell it is exactly down to you, but there is a lot of loot there, so I think it's a good addition to the game. The way that they work, though, and the way that they articulate themselves, and the fact that they are quite hard to take on, I wonder if they're going to be dropped into maps where the actual player count is full, because I wouldn't want to run into this guy if I was heading to extraction with very little health left. You know, you're not going to get past these guys. That's the top and bottom of it. It's going to be a tough task to get past them, and like I said, they're at the gas station, which is a pinch point within the map. It's very hard to get around that without setting off these guys. You know, they're going to notice you. The only way you could do it is down the left hand side where the bushes are. If you could sneak past there, that would probably get you through, but you're not going to be able to go over the pipe at the other side and down the right hand side. They're going to see you. So yeah, I'm wondering if this set, you know, the Scaf Boss just gets dropped in when the player count isn't too high, and then it gives you something else to aim at and the map's not so empty. But like I said, I don't know, I don't have any information on that, but I would hope that he's only dropped in when the player count isn't too high. Otherwise it's going to be pretty hard to get through, because we got majorly messed up taking on this guy, and we still had to run all the way to the other side of the map for extraction. But yeah, we didn't get a chance to check out the loot, so that was a little bit disappointing, but I enjoyed the engagement. It was good, it was fun, so it's a step in the right direction as far as I'm concerned. Some of the skills within the game have been overhauled, so you will find that certain skills will level up quicker now. They've dialed them in a little bit so that they will level up a bit quicker, so your endurance and your strength and things like that. Again, you're going to find people throwing grenades left, right and centre to increase strength, but this is something that's been going on for a while in the game, so I think we're all used to that. So yeah, they will level up pretty quickly. You're not going to have to do too much different within the game. In fact, I don't really think you have to do anything different within the game to level up the vast majority of your skills. I think mag drills has been changed a little bit as well. I think it's now a little bit easier to upgrade that one. That was one of those that took me about 2 months to get to level 1. It was ridiculous, but I think it's changed now and it's a lot easier to level it up to where you need it to be. Of course, we've got the new weapons within the game. I haven't seen them yet. I haven't had privilege of looting anybody that had them. I'm still only at a low level in the game, so it'll be a while before I get to those. You've got the Glock 18 and the SA58. I really do like the look of the SA58. I'm looking forward to trying that one when I eventually manage to get my hands on it. But the game seems pretty decent. It seems good. There's been work behind the scenes definitely with regards to optimization on this game. Lag spikes are still present within the game, but for me, and this is a subjective opinion, it could be just my experience and not everybody's, but for me it seems as though these aren't as frequent as they used to be, and they aren't as prolonged as they used to be either. I used to get lag spikes where it would be literally 2 seconds of game lockup before I could move again. Now it's just a stutter and you can carry on. So that's, for me personally, not as bad as it used to be. That might not be the same for everybody, I don't know, but that's how I see it. Seems a little bit better on that front. And I think I've not given this game credit for just how freaking gorgeous it looks. And I've been playing a lot of other games recently. I went off Escape from Tarkov once I knew the patch was coming along and there was little point to continuing to grind. I think a lot of people are the same as well. They start to think, well, I'll play something else for a while. What's the point of grinding for other things in Tarkov when it's going to be reset anyway? So I went into other games. I've been playing a lot of Battlefield. Battlefield 1 looks amazing, and then when I go into Escape from Tarkov, I really appreciate what the devs have done with this game. It is gorgeous. It looks really good. I seriously haven't given the game the credit that it deserves for how it looks, and when you consider that this is in Unity engine, they've done an amazing job with it. I know that we all wish that it was maybe on a different engine, we all wish that they'd maybe used Unreal and we wouldn't have some of the issues that we have, but still, they've made a good looking game. So yeah, I think the game is going in a really exciting direction at the moment. A lot of nice changes. I've noticed that in certain places in the customs map we've got new cover, so especially around the back of the gas station where you used to come out of that door into the open, there's now a truck with a container on, so there's new rocks being placed in certain places, so we've got little bits of better cover now. So, and I've only played customs up to now. I haven't played any of the other maps. I had a quick run through on factory, but I didn't notice anything much that had changed on that. There's some new weapons cases here and there that have been spread around on customs, so certain areas that were just not worth bothering with, you might want to bother with them now because you might have found a weapons case in there. So yeah, some good changes to the game overall. I think this was a good patch. I think it's probably one of the smoothest patch releases that they've had for quite a while. As I say, not without its issues, but on the whole, it was a very good release. So if you want to keep up to date with Escape from Tarkov information and things like that, don't forget to press the subscribe button, hit the bell button, and you will be informed of my latest videos. You can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram if you want to. Twitter's probably the one that I'm most active on. Facebook, I just use that for video uploads. Instagram, I use that when I remember to use it, which isn't very often, but I'm trying to get better on that one. So yeah, as always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching and listening. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.